Alright, so this video is going to come out directly after my top 5 things that I loved about the game, or top 5 things that I loved about Update 5. And if you read the title, then you know exactly what we're going to talk about. These are the top 5 things that I hated about Update 1.5. Now, I wanted to put this video out for one of two reasons. Number one, I think it's important to criticize the game in a constructive way, besides just saying, oh, update bad, unit 2 rare, fuck this update because only one map. Because I feel like we can go a little bit deeper than that. And, it's like yin and yang, I put out a 5 things that I love video, I put out a 5 things that I hate video, we keep a perfect balance. And I get to make 2 8-minute videos. Something in my throat. Sorry about that, guys. And a lot of you might be asking me, hey Perry, how come you're doing this when your honest review series, you just talk about the good and the bad anyway? Well, I'm gonna make an honest review video anyway. This is just more content farm on top of the content farm cake. And since the game just updated, the content farm is ripe for the picking. So with all that yap out of the way, let's get into item number 1. First thing that I hated about this update were the new bundles. And I know that I was pretty happy that I got gifted one in an earlier video, but that's not going to change the fact that I think these are just blatantly there for the sake of monetization. And I'm not a Renaissance thinker when I say this. I'm not really making any ground-shattering discoveries when I tell you that, hey, these are pay to win. But what really gets me are just the marketing ploys that they use in order to sell more of these bundles. And this tactic isn't specific to anime Vanguards. It's a thing on Blade Ball, it's a thing on Blox Fruits, it's a thing on Anime Defenders, it's a thing on every single big Roblox game on the platform, because they want to squeeze as much revenue out of their players as possible. Limited offer. That's marketing tactic number 1. I don't have a marketing degree, but we're gonna learn a little bit of marketing right here. Limited offer, right? So we're creating FOMO here. People are gonna see that the offer is limited and they're gonna be like, damn, if I don't buy this now, I'll never get the chance to. I need to grab my mom's credit card and I need to buy this bundle now. You also see the hot. Like, bro, this has been hot for 2 months. Like, it's cold. This is not hot. What are we talking about? I guess these are old. These are new, so I guess you could call these hot new bundles. And the thing that gets me the most is the little Robux icon right here. Because who are y'all kidding? 70k Robux for a Spirit Plus bundle? Bro, if y'all release that on update day at 70k instead of the actual price, which is already expensive, 7k Robux is a lot of money for anyone. Well, I guess if you're like a big content creator, you wipe your ass with 7k Robux, but you get what I'm trying to say. This is a lot of Robux. No matter how you slice it, this is a pretty expensive bundle to buy. And for what? For 70,000 of the new gacha gambling currencies? 150 trait rerolls? Let's go gambling. More gambling. Now, I will say, one thing that I can't deny here, the 2 banners that you get from this limited offer are so goated. I absolutely love those. But it's actually going to bring me into the thing that I hate, number 2. So let's move on to that. Next thing that I hated about this update is the fact that the 2 best banners in the game are locked behind a paywall. Turbo Hani and Miku Madness are, in my opinion, and you could probably say objectively speaking, the 2 best banners in the game. Why do I say that? Because although the other banners do look cool, the dumb cat one's my favorite out of the starter banners, the ones that were on release. These look really cool too, but then you compare it to this. Turbo Hani, it's a literal walking cat. It's the only moving banner in the game, which is super duper cool. And then the next one, the Miku one, everyone wants the Miku one. Like, who doesn't? Look at this banner. Tell me you don't want to rock this banner. I want to I love this banner. Not as much as I love the cat one though. That's why the cat one stays on, but you get what I'm trying to say. Profile customization has always been a big selling point from this game. They've put a lot of time and effort into it. Obviously, I know that they're not marketing themselves as a profile customization game, but you get what I'm trying to say. The fact that they're locking the arguably 2 newest best pieces of customizationable content, is that even a word? I'm going off the rails here. Okay, the fact that both of these banners are locked behind a paywall I think is just absolutely egregious, and it really doesn't make sense to me. Why couldn't you just have made these banners a drop from the special new banner, what's it called? The occult banner. Yeah, why couldn't you just make these drop from there as a rare drop, so at least the average free-to-play player would have had a chance to earn it themselves? Or why didn't you just make it drop from the spirit shop like you've done with other cosmetics before? I really don't get it, but I do get it. And I know that it's just for money. They want as much money from these bundles as possible, so logically they're going to incentivize you to buy them by locking two of the best banners in the game behind a 7,000 Robux paywall. Let's move on to item number 3. Third thing that I personally hated about this update is the fact that there's no mythical pity for skins. Now, there is a legendary pity, and there is an exclusive pity, but there's no mythical pity, and I don't know why. But I really wanted this Jogo with a crown skin, and I know that you might be telling me a 1% drop chance is pretty big and it doesn't really warrant having a pity, but if you get screwed over by RNG, a 1% drop chance of a 25% drop chance, you know, we're really scrutinizing fine numbers here to the point where I feel like it's unfair. If you're going to have an exclusive pity and you're going to have a legendary pity, why wouldn't you have a mythic pity? It feels like it just should have been in the game on release for the new banner, especially since the banner is limited, but it's not. And that's something that I hate. Let's go on to item number 4. Now, the fourth thing that I hate about this update are the drop rates, specifically the drop rates for Diavolo. Come on, guys, 0.005%. This is crazy. Genshin Impact has better rates than this, and that is the most garbage, gooner bait, gacha gambling sim game that I can think of. Actually, I could probably think of more, but you get what I'm trying to say. That's the first one that comes to mind. You slapped a new rarity onto a unit, gave it an inhumanely low drop chance, and you made them limited. Why? Why? Bro, like, why? I really don't want it to sound like I'm whining about this point specifically, but no other words come to mind besides why. What was the reason behind making this so needlessly difficult to obtain? By the way, Diavolo Requiem, he sucks. I've seen the showcases of him. He's not even S tier. Gojo's better than him. Sukuna is probably better than him. He has an ability, he has decent damage, but for the amount of luck that you're going to need to get this guy, or if you're just going to try and brute force it, the amount of Robux you're going to have to spend to get this guy realistically, you know, the juice is not worth the squeeze. Why is a support unit a 0.005% drop chance, the rarest unit in this update, who isn't even going to be a permanent unit from my understanding? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm 99% sure that he's going to be a limited time secret unit. This guy makes getting Alucard seem like a beginner step. You know, Alucard, you get that when you're just starting the game, but if you want to get a real man's unit, you want to go for the actual unit that's rare, you're going to have to get Diavolo. And as soon as I saw that drop chance all the way back like 4 or 3 videos ago in my update 1.5 is here video, I looked at the zeros and I scratched my eyes. I had to do a double take like a cartoon character because I thought I was hallucinating things. I was like, oh, maybe it's a visual bug. Maybe they added a few extra zeros that they weren't supposed to. Nope, it's been out for multiple hours now. This is a permanent intended game change and I just don't like it at all. Now, we'll play devil's advocate here. The reason for this being so rare, and one of the devs did come out and say it in sub announcements, so it's not like it's a oversight on their part. It is intentional. They want Diavolo to be rare. They want the entire point of this unit having his own rarity. They want him to be a novelty unit. The purpose of him existing was never for everyone to get him. It was for the top select 1% of people to have him. And I just don't agree with that philosophy. I really don't. Because, number one, you hyped up this unit a lot. You gave us a sneak for him with an entire cutscene. Everyone was hyped for it. I was hyped for it. A bunch of YouTubers were making videos on it. From the get-go, everyone thought that, hey, we're going to get to try out Diavolo. This is going to be the shit. Let's go. And for what? for him to be locked behind a basically non-existent chance of summoning. Like, I just can't wrap my head around it. I really dislike the way that they went about adding him into the game. I think something cool that they could have done was maybe give him a quest line like Toji, where you can get him guaranteed, but make it really hard if you're that dead set on him being a difficult unit to obtain. But the fact that he is just quite literally locked behind gambling, behind a wall of RNG, you know, it feels like an impenetrable wall, only accessible to those with the biggest of wallets. And that's something that I hated about update 1.5. Let's move on to item number 5. The last thing that I hated about this update was the fact that you could buy Spirit Wisps. Now, I know that this is a limited banner, and I know that you're going to have to earn the new units, but when you can just outright buy the new event currency, which, mind you, you need it for literally everything. You need it to evolve the new units, you need it to get the new units, you need it to essentially up my Discord, not yours. You essentially need it to obtain every single noteworthy item in this update. You can just buy it. And that really takes me out of the immersion of this being a limited update. It feels more like a race to who can spend the most money. It just really leaves a sour taste in my mouth, if I'm being honest. And I'll turn up my Discord, not yours. I don't know if y'all heard that, but I heard that. Oh my god, can you shut up? Let's turn off Discord. As I was saying, limited currencies are always a hit or miss for these types of games because the way that they're implemented, you're walking on eggshells here. One wrong move and you piss off your entire community, and that is exactly what AV did. They pissed off their entire community, not only by making this obtainable through Robux, but by also locking the most anticipated hyped up unit behind essentially a required paywall. No, I'm sure there are going to be free-to-play players that are going to obtain this through sheer luck alone, but I know I'm not going to be one of them. And if you're watching this video, chances are you're not going to be one of them. Because a 0.005% chance of a unit, you know, you don't need me to tell you that, but I'll tell you anyway, it is incredibly rare. It is very, very, very rare. And I just don't think I'm going to get it, because I don't have the money to spend on this game to drop hundreds of thousands of Robux so I can get a bunch of Wisps, so I can maybe get a chance at getting him. I don't. And most people don't either. And if you have the money to do that, all power to you. Most people don't. And some people don't, and they're going to buy it anyway because they make bad financial decisions. But that's besides the point. That is going to wrap up my 5 things that I hate about update 1.5. And, you know, if any devs are watching this, no hard feelings. You know me. Got a content farm. Plus, it's important that we criticize the games we love. And although a good chunk of this was complaining for the sake of complaining, I'd say that I've voiced some concerns that most of the community sees eye to eye with. And do I have any constructive criticism to end this on a somewhat positive note? Yeah. Don't lock this guy behind such a low drop chance. I know that you guys probably don't agree with that philosophy if you are listening, because you did this on purpose, you made it like that. But, you know, you built up so much hype for this unit. You sneaked him, you gave him a badass cutscene which looks amazing, like a cutscene with impact frames. This is like the first TD game that has impact frames. And now I'll never see those impact frames because my wallet is not fat enough to afford this dude. With all that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my part 2, or my other half to the first video that I made. Let's see which video performs better. Something tells me the hate video is going to do a lot better than the love video. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day or night wherever you are. Stay tuned for more content, and we'll catch you in the next one.